Hello class, good morning. Our topic for today is estimating quotients of decimals. Let's estimate the quotient of 11,228 divided by 959 using rounding technique and compatible numbers. So in rounding technique, let's round the dividend and the divisor in the nearest hundred. So 11228. So hundreds is 2. So if we round this one, 11,200. Since the next digit to 2 is less than 5, so round it down. Next is 959. The digit in the hundreds place is 9, and the next digit to 9 is 5. So we round it up by adding 1 to 9. So 1,000, then we can start to divide. 11,200 divided by 1,000. So 1,000 divided by 11,200, or 1,000 divided by 1, 2, 3 here, up to here, 1,120. The answer is 1. 1 times 1,000, 1,000. Then 1,120 minus 1,000 is 120. Then bring down 0. 1,200 divided by 1,000 is 1. 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. Then subtract, the answer is 200. So 200. Since we still have remainder and we want that our quotient is in decimal form, then we can add placeholders, 0 as placeholder. So put decimal point here after you add placeholder. So then bring down 0. 2,000 divided by 1,000 is 2. 2 times 1,000 is 2,000. 0. So the quotient of 11,229 and 955 is about 11.2. Next is, or 11.2. Next is, let's proceed to compatible numbers. So in compatible numbers, we will just change the multiples, or we will just change the dividend and the divisor that is multiple of 10. So that is what we call compatible numbers. So how can we make it as a multiple of 10 so that we can easily divide? So we can make this one as 11,000. 11,000 is a multiple of 10, and this is 1,000. So let's divide 11,000 divided by 1,000. Okay, how many 1,000s are there in 11,000? We can just directly divide, or let's divide it first. 1,100, considering the first 4 digits, divided by 1,000 is 1. 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. Then subtract, the answer is 100. 1,100 minus 1,000 is 100. Then bring down 0. 1,000 divided by 1,000 is 1. 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. So 0. So the estimate quotient is about 11. So as you can see, in rounding, the quotient is 11.2, and in compatible number, the quotient is 11. So, in the actual quotient, when you divide this one, is 11.708 actual quotient. So, choose which one is the best technique to use in estimating the quotient. So, as you can see, this is close enough to the estimate in the previous example. Therefore, any of the strategies may be used to estimate the quotient. So, since 11.708 is close to 11.2 and 11.708 is close to 11, so you can choose, okay, either of the two, either rounding number or compatible numbers. Next example, estimate the quotient of 365.04 divided by 31.2. The first way that we will use is, let's round down the dividend and the quotient. So let's round down the dividend and the divisor. So let's round down the dividend into nearest hundreds, and let's round down the divisor into nearest tens. Okay, so if we round down 365 in the nearest hundred, so this would be 300. If we round down 31.2 in the nearest tens, this would be written as 30. Okay, then let's divide. 300 divided by 30 is simply 10. Next is, let's use compatible numbers. Again, when you use compatible numbers, I will round the decimal to some multiples of 10. That is compatible numbers. We will round the dividend and the divisor into compatible or into multiple of 10. So if we round down this 365, around 365 to make it compatible number, so we can have 400. Next is, let's use the compatible numbers strategy to estimate the quotient. So just round the decimals to some multiples of 10. So if we use the compatible number, this would become 400. Then this will not be 30 because it's not compatible with 400. So we write it as 40 so that it would be compatible to 400. Then the estimated quotient would be 400 divided by 40 is simply 10. Next is, let's use the round up and round down. So if we round up 365.04 into the nearest hundreds and the next digit is 6, the answer would be 400. And if we round 31.2 to the nearest tens and the next digit is 1, the answer would be 30. So 400 divided by 30 is equal to, let's solve. 30, then consider the two digit. 40 divided by 30 is 1. 1 times 30 is 30. Then subtract. 40 minus 30 is 10. Then bring down 0. 100 divided by 30 is 2. 2 times 100 divided by 30 is 3. 3 times 30 is 90. Then subtract, the answer is 10. Since we still have remainder, we can add since we still have 10 as remainder, we can just add another 0, then add points here, add 0 here. This is what we call the placeholder. Then bring down 0. 100 divided by 30 is 3. 3 times 30 is 90. So remainder 10 again. So we will just end here. The estimate quotient of 365.04 divided by 31.2 is 13.3 using the round up and round down. So I will repeat. In the first case, we use the round down method for both of the dividend and the divisor. And in the second answer, we use the compatible number. And in the third answer, we use the round up for the dividend and round down for the divisor. And actually, the actual quotient of 365.04 divided by 31.2 is 11. Actually, the actual quotient of this is 11.7. So if we compare the three quotients, the first two, let's say this is A, B, and C. A and B is close enough to 11.7, but this is what we call underestimate because A and B is lower than the value of the actual quotient, while letter C is overestimate because the quotient is greater than the actual quotient. So this two is underestimate and this one is overestimate. So another example, Tommy drove on 176.5 kilometer trip for 3.2 hours. How many kilometers did he drive per hour? So, or about how many kilometers did he drive per hour? So let's use the round up and round down. Since we can round this up and we can round down this hours. So if we round up 176.5, we can round this into the nearest tens to make it 180. Next is 3.2. We can round it into the nearest ones to get 3. Still, the dividend and the divisor is easy to divide. That's the technique that you need to consider in rounding. The dividend and the divisor must be easily to divide. So 180 divided by 3. Let's consider the first two digits. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. Then subtract, the answer is 0. Then bring down 0. 0 divided by 3 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. Then subtract, the answer is 0. So the estimate So 60 means that Tommy drove at a speed of about 60 km per hour. 9 lunch meal sets cost of 760.5. Arnold estimated that he would have paid 80 for each lunch meal set. Did he overestimate or underestimate? So for us to check whether he overestimate or underestimate, then let's divide 760.5 into 9 divided by 9. So 760.5 divided by 9, let's consider the first two digits, 7 and 6. 76 divided by 9, the answer is 76 divided by 9, the answer is 8. Then 8 times 9 is 72. Then subtract 6 minus 2 is 4. 7 minus 7 is 0. Then bring down 0. So 40 divided by 9, the answer is 4. Then 4 times 9, 36. 40 minus 36 is 4. Then bring down 5. Then don't forget to write the decimal point. So 45 divided by 9, the answer is 5. 5 times 9 is 45. So the actual amount of each meal is 84.5. So it means that Arnold underestimated his estimate value of each meal. So Arnold underestimated because his estimate of 80 is lower than the actual cost of the lunch meal set, which is 84.5. For your activity, answer practice A and B on page 208. Write your solution and answer on a sheet of paper. Take a photo of your answer. Send it via private message.